Good morning. So I did look at your pre-assessment answers that you guys did, and some of you did a great job of figuring out what X would be. However, I want to see you writing your work a little bit more, let's just say algebraically. So, you know, in life, if you just had to figure out X and you could figure out it anyway, that'd be great, okay? However, I am here to prepare you for algebra next year, for algebra 2 the year after that, for geometry. And so I need you to trust me in that you need to show your work the way that I am going to show you, even if you think you know what the answer is right away. Okay, so let me show you how I want you to show your work, and then today you're just going to practice that. Okay, again, if you just give me an answer for today's homework assignment, you will not get credit. You must, and this is one of the only times I'm going to tell you, when solving equations, you must show your work. Okay, so let me go through the first couple from your pre-assessment.
I don't have an answer for that. Is there...
Apparently my computer doesn't have an answer for me. All right, so looking at question 1, a lot of you knew what the right answer was, but this is what I want to see. When solving an equation, I want you to drop a line where that equal sign is, because basically there's two sides to an equation. There's the left side, there's the right side, and ultimately both sides have to be equal, because that's what this says. And so we are going to undo the work. And so I have an X here by itself, and there's a positive 14, so I'm going to subtract 14. I did see a couple of you doing this. And when I subtract 14, that cancels out the 14 on the left, and that's going to leave me with just an X. And then on the right, I'm just going to do the math. 26 minus 14 is 12. That is my answer. And I know it works because 14 plus 12 really does equal 26. Okay? Again, you might have been able to get 12 as an answer because you know 14 plus 12 is 26, but I need you to start practicing writing your work this way. Okay, so in number 2, I'm going to drop my line wherever the equal sign is. All that does is remind me that I've got a left side and I've got a right side. My goal is to get X by itself. And so since X is right here, I'm going to try to eliminate this positive 6 by subtracting 6. Some people might say you're adding a negative 6. It's the same thing, and they cancel out. And so then on the right, we only have X, which is awesome. And on the left, we have 10. And I know that that works because 16 equals 10 plus 6. This is how I check my answer right there. Okay? And whenever you're solving equations, I would like you to actually circle your answer. So your answer should be nice and neat. If ever I don't give you enough space because you write big, please feel free to write it on another piece of paper. Okay? Your goal is to make sure that it is neat and that you're showing the work that way that I am telling you to show your work. Okay, so I'm going to drop my line, and I've got a left side and I've got a right side. They both need to equal. The thing about this one is that on the left, that is a negative 10. And so to cancel out a negative 10, we need to have a positive 10. That's the only way that's going to become 0. And so since I added a positive 10 on the left, we have to add a positive 10 on the right. And that's going to leave me with just X, which is awesome. And 10 plus 12 is 22. That would be the answer for this one. So some of you didn't quite have this one correct. I think that negative 10 messed you up a little bit. But again, if you follow the rules, if you show your work exactly the way I'm showing you, you'll be fine. I can check it, because I can go negative 10 plus 22. Does that equal question mark 12? And it does, because when I have opposite signs, I'm going to subtract them and keep what I have more of. So yes, it works. Okay, this one. Oops, sorry about that. I'm going to drop my line. This time my X is on the left. And so to get rid of this minus 8, we want to add 8. And now I notice that on the left, I just have x, but on the right, there's a -4 and a +8. They're opposite signs. And so if they're opposite signs, I'm really going to subtract, so that would be 4. And we have more positives, so my answer is +4. And it works out because 4 take away 8 actually does equal -4, because I'm taking away more than I had. All right, let's do 2 more. So this one, some students get really confused here because there's not a lot of steps. And so they get confused because they're not adding or subtracting. It's okay. It's just that we have the last step. So now this is saying 3 times x is 48. And to undo a multiplication, we're going to divide. This symbol right here, the fraction bar, is really like division. So I'm just going to write it like a fraction bar. That means 48 divided by 3. So 48 divided by 3. 3 goes into 4 once. And then bring down my 8. 3 goes into 18 6 times. So x equals 16. And I could check it because I could do 3 times 16. Does that equal 48? And it does. In my head, I do 3 times 10, which is 30. I do 3 times 6, which is 18. And then 30 plus 18 is 48. Oops. Okay. And then this one. Now I'm going to add 14 because it's subtraction, and the opposite of subtraction is addition. Those cancel out, leaving me with just x on the left and 46 on the right. And then if I did 46, take away 14, it really does equal 32. All right, I said I was going to stop, but I think I want to do 7 and 9, and then I will stop. And so in number 7, this is what we would call one of our 2-step equations. I drop my line, and notice I'm going to need to add 3. So I don't do anything with this 3 yet. I'm adding 3 to cancel out that -3. And so if I add 3 on the left, we have to add 3 on the right. That's going to leave me with 3x equals 15. And now it's like that last problem we just did. It's 3 times x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And those cancel out, and actually they cancel out to be 1. We just don't usually write the 1 in front, but we could. And 15 divided by 3 is 5, so my answer should be 5. I can check it back up here. I'm going to do 3 times 5 minus 3. Does it, question mark, equal 12? 3 times 5 is 15. 15 take away 3 is 12, so it works. And then let's go down and do number 9. I'm going to drop my line. I'm going to take away 9 from both sides, because that will cancel each other out, leaving me with 2 x's on the left and 36 on the right. And so now it's 2 times x. We have to divide by 2. Divide by 2. That's going to give me 1x. And then we get x equals 18. Again, I could go up here and check it. 2 times 18 plus 9. Does it, question mark, equal 45? And it should, because that would be 36 plus 9. And yes, it equals 45. Okay, hopefully that helped for those kinds. Those are the kinds you did with Miss Haynes last year. But again, when you do tonight's work, if you do not show the work the way that I did just now, you will not get them. You will not get credit. So I'm going to give you some just like these, and I want you to take your time, and I want you to show your work.